Hello, everybody. This is Linda Martin of the Safety Struggle, and I am here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And today I'm going to talk about finding free stuff on the internet for safety professionals. So if you tuned in today, I'm sorry I'm late. This technology is not easy, and so we're going to do the best we can with what we got. So I hope there are some people today that came along for the ride. If you're here, show me in the comments. I am actually what I'm going to do is lead you through some internet stuff today. And if you're a new professional or even a professional that's getting started in the field or been in the field a long time, there's a lot of things that you have to do every day. And we find often that we have to buy them from vendors. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy them from vendors. Um, but you can find things on the internet about just about any topic, and I'm going to show you some of the places that you can do this. So I have another computer right here, and I'm going to try to share my screen. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is very difficult for me. So we're going to do that now. And then there we go. So hopefully you can see the Google screen. And I'm going to start at the Google screen today just because that's a good place to start, right? Anytime that you're looking for something on the internet related to safety, you can always go to Google and check that out, type in some keywords. But I'm going to tell you some of the things that I really like to do when I'm researching a topic for a toolbox talk, for regulations, for comparison, etc. So somebody from the UK, I think, or Europe has tuned in, and they said they lost their beer. I lost mine too. It's actually 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, and I probably should be drinking a beer. So thank you for drinking a beer as you watch this, because it's going to be rough until I get the hang of this live stream stuff. So let's get started with some of the common websites that we go to. Hopefully you can see the big yellow arrow that I put on the screen here in the US. As you know, we have the OSHA website. For those of you around the world, the OSHA website just doesn't have the US regulations. It has a bunch of stuff on a bunch of different topics. And if you go to OSHA.gov, again, US centric, but there are plenty of places to go on here to find out about construction, agriculture. There are some really helpful resources on the safety and health topics pages, which is right here under help and resources. You can learn about just about anything. There's an alphabetical listing. And, if you're looking for it, it's here. One of the big things around the world right now is nanotechnology. I did a paper on nanotechnology when I was in graduate school. And so this is one of the places that I started. So as I said, things don't have to be exactly for your country. Just because it is for another country doesn't mean that it's country specific. The regulations, of course, will be, but the different resources will not be, and they will vary from website to website. So you should go to the different websites and check these things out. So we started with OSHA. The next thing I want to show you is the Infrastructure Health and Safety Association. That's Canada. And in Canada, they have the same type of things. You can look for training. You can look for resources. The Infrastructure Health and Safety Association, by the way, puts out, if you're interested in cranes, they actually publish the Mobile Crane Safety Manual, which is a super resource for people in construction. And you can use that. You can purchase it on here. You can also purchase it on Amazon, but they're the ones who actually put that book together, and it talks all about cranes and what to do with cranes and crane safety and rigging, etc. And it's used actually a lot by the NCCCO and other crane regulatory bodies, certification bodies, as one of the study materials. So if you're into cranes and you're in construction, or even if you're in general industry or another industry, that's a good resource. And the IHSA puts it out. So you can go on this is Canadian, like I said. There are news and events, probably about different topics, training, e-learning, etc. So that's Canada. All right, let's move on to the EU. As you know, there are a lot of countries that are in the EU, and I'm sorry to sound like somebody from the US, so I can't list all the countries in the EU. I'm sure somebody that's listening can. But on the EU page, osha.europa.eu, and this is the English version, there are also different topics about emerging risks. There's my nanomaterials, which is one of my favorite things to read about, different publications that you can go to research. On here, there's some COVID information. Looks like there's some risk assessment on MSDs, but certainly a good resource to, if you're in the US or if you're in another country, to come here and look through the stuff that they have. Moving on, HSE Health and Safety Executive is UK, and if there's somebody from the UK, you certainly can correct me if I'm wrong. But again, this is a good place to look for guidance on health and safety, different topics. Again, labor posters, which would probably be country specific, but how to control fumes and dust. Certainly that goes around the world, but this is also a good website, and this is in the UK. Moving on, you wouldn't think I'd go as far as New Zealand, but I have gone as far as New Zealand. New Zealand has some great stuff on their page. You access it over here by menus and topics in industry. There are some terrific, if you're making PowerPoints, there's some terrific different infographics that they put up here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to click on one, but certainly if you're working in construction excavation, they have some great pictures of excavations and how all that stuff works, sloping, shoring, and different types of sheeting, etc. So yes, Pedro, this is the free 99 squad. So check out worksafe.gov, not just gov, but govt.nz, because New Zealand has some great topics on their webpage. There's also Safe Work Australia, same type of thing. As you can see on all these web pages, the COVID information is right up front, okay? And as we know, it's, hot topics, right? Our OSHA here in the US does the same thing. They do the Focus 4 and some of the other things. I noticed when I just clicked on the OSHA Gov page here for the US that they've rearranged some things, and you may see that change again in the new year as the administration changes here in the US. So check out Safe Work Australia. Again, they do theirs by topic, by industry. This almost looks identical here to the OSHA in the US. Agriculture, construction, manufacturing, transport. You click on any of these, there should be some publications in there and some other information or fact sheets that you can use to flesh out your training programs or your PowerPoints. Moving on to another US page, we have the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. For those of us here in the US that practice in safety and health here, COVID is a big thing, as I know it is around the world. And this is the place, cdc.gov, that you will find the most up-to-date information on the COVID and pandemic and different resources that you will need in order to put a program in place and to maintain a program as you move through this pandemic and into the new year. So keep an eye on this page, bookmark it if you're in the US, but it certainly can be helpful around the world to compare to what's happening in other countries. So again, there's not just stuff about the COVID virus on this page. You can look up different diseases in conditions here. You can look up emergency preparedness, which is got some great stuff on chemical emergencies, natural disasters, etc. And the CDC also talks here about workplace safety, global health, injury and violence and safety. So I guess what I'm getting at here, guys, is don't limit yourself to what you read in a textbook if you're still in school, or if you got rid of that textbook. Make sure that you access all these websites that are available to you for free. There are some here that I'll show you, and again, some that I've already shown you here that you can actually click on them and get free fact sheets. And you can actually click on some of them and get free um, tailgate topic uh, fact sheets for you to use in your daily um, work. So, again, don't pay for it if you don't have to, but if you have to, that's okay too. The CDC also has NIOSH, and under the NIOSH site, you can see that there's a little bit more about the health side of safety and research. If you are somebody who's going to graduate school or even an undergraduate, NIOSH has a lot of good papers that they store on their website here, and you can look up the different papers and read about um, these topics. So as I scroll down, I see there's guidance in agriculture, meat and poultry processing. The sky's the limit for what you can find on the internet. And I shouldn't have to tell any one of my students, let alone practicing professionals, that you should do your research before you do any topic in the workplace. So use these resources if you can. National Institute for Health and Environmental Health Sciences, another US-centric government webpage, provides more of the health-based aspect of research. There are some papers on here and different news and events about things going on around the world. Again, a lot of information on COVID. All right, for you construction nuts, here we go. The Center for Construction Research and Training. This is a really good website. I don't know why a lot of people don't know about it, but it is a great place to find information. I'm going to click here on the training tab. And there is information here that you can download, that you can read about, and it's actually free. So you can come on here and get the courses, the course information, confined space, hazardous waste worker training, etc. There's a bunch of stuff on here, including training and research papers in the construction industry. So this is one that I use a lot just because I came from construction. And so check it out. Next up, Laborers Health and Safety Fund of North America. Many people know about this if they're in construction because they use free training from the Laborers Health and Safety Fund. And but they also do post a lot of their information online. They will talk about OSH topics, safety culture. You can go on here and read, get different resources, actually leads you to other web pages beyond what I'm looking at. And so if you're looking mostly in construction, the Laborers Health and Safety Fund of North America website is also a very good resource. Yes, Pedro, construction rocks. Moving on. We're back to Canada again. And WorkSafe BC, as much as I can tell, is run by the Workers' Compensation Fund in Canada. And, it's Canadian. It's not US if you're here in the US, but it is applicable around the world. And what is great about this page, worksafebc.com, is that they actually have case studies and they have some tremendous videos. And so if you do a lot of training and you want training videos, a lot of alerts on this page, you can go in here by topic. I'm going to show you confined space because that's one that I've used in the past. If I can get to the C's. They've done some really, really nicely done videos in this space, and you can actually go in and access those resources here. Hazards in confined spaces. These are actually PDF downloads. The Cody Nolte story I've used before in trainings. It basically talks about people going in after other people in confined spaces and actually ending up dying as well. So I know that's kind of a Debbie Downer moment, but you should check out some of these videos if you do training, because they do a tremendous job putting these videos together and being very accurate in the portrayal of the dangers associated with confined spaces and other hazards. Another Canadian site. Here we go. Canadian Center for Occupational Health and Safety. A lot of this information mirrors US OSHA, but it's written in a very clear and concise way. I love the stuff that I find on this page, and a lot of times I use this in my own PowerPoints because they explain things in, like I said, a very straightforward way. And so check out Canadian Center for Occupational Health and Safety. Again, they're organized by hazards, health and wellness, different programs you can use. But really get great stuff on this page, especially if you're putting together a quick PowerPoint or a toolbox talk. So that's ccohs.ca. And I'll provide a Word document with all of these websites in the chat of the post on LinkedIn so that you guys can access these if you want them. So I'm assuming some people will want to see the actual websites and hang on to them. AGC also does a good job getting information out there on different trainings and industry priorities. There's a lot of good information on the Association of General Contractors, which is also construction. And they talk about advocacy roundtables. Again, this is US centric, but a lot of the information on this webpage will be helpful for those putting together programs around the world. Respirable crystalline silica in construction is universal, and the hazards are universal. There will be some better research out of other countries. I will say that. So check out some of these other web pages that I've talked about prior to this and compare notes. International Labor Organization. Again, publications and technical tools here for the safety and health professional. They'll describe a framework for putting together a safety management system. You can see that there's a lot of publications and research here. So if you're a graduate student again, or you're putting together papers for your schoolwork, or putting together a paper for a professional publication, you might want to check out the ILO. That's ilo.org/safework. All right. So I did cover, actually, I'm missing one of my web pages here, but I will show you some places that do sell you stuff, but they also provide stuff for free. So just so everybody's aware, I'm not being sponsored by anybody here that I'm going to mention, but there are good resources for free from some people who want you to buy their things. And one of the good places that I've found some stuff is here on vividlearningsystems.com website. They have safety tips, they have resources for you, they have some webcasts and some case studies. And a lot of this is downloadable for free. They do give you a little bit. Forewarn that they are trying to sell you coursework and assistance for your company or for yourself. But sometimes that's fine. If you get a little bit for free and you like what they do, then certainly reach out to them. I know a lot of good people over here. Again, not sponsored by them, but they do put out good work. So vividlearningsystems.com is one of those places. I did have Grainger up again. I mentioned on one of my previous live streams that Grainger does put out a lot of things for free, especially if you're looking for professional development and you are one of those people that is trying to save some money or look for what your vendors provide. They used to, I'm not sure if they do anymore, but if you are a client of Grainger's, they do have webinars that come with CEUs. So make sure to look them up for that. But they also have safety and health topic pages on their website. So if you go to Grainger and you look up their safety and health services, they will have some free toolbox talks and tips on their webpage. So, and I don't have them pulled up. I apologize. One other good place, before I let you go today, I didn't plan on talking for a long time unless you guys want to throw some things into the chat. Um, if you go to a lot of universities' websites, one of the things that they do at universities is that they post things for their staff and for their students. And Harvard University does a really good job of this. ehs.harvard.edu. Their programs, they post every single one of their toolbox talks so that they can be accessed by their workers, by their staff, and by their students. So this is one of the very best. I was going to show you several, but there is almost, almost, I will say, not one thing that I can't get from the Harvard website. And, I say it's a free resource is because it's open and you can go on here and you can download just about anything. And they will give you information that you can use in a PowerPoint or in your own um, toolbox talk if you have your own format for your company or one that you do yourself. So, um, the sky's the limit here for free stuff, guys. I don't know who's on today, but does anybody else want to share some of the free stuff type things that they have seen um, as they've kind of gone through their career? Tim's Tim says, "Great information for my graduate research study." It certainly is, right? I could do a whole nother kind of live stream on how to do some research when it comes to papers and how to find free information and free research papers and studies on the internet. If people are interested in that another time, it's something that I do for my graduate students, show them how to research, how to pull up information, how to find things on Google Scholar, for one, and also on researchgate.net, and how to find the authors of papers and ask for them for free because a lot of times they're behind a paywall. And if you go directly to the source, you can get good papers. So, unless anybody has anything else, I'm sorry for the delay. And I did mess up today. I am human. And I pushed broadcast and then I pushed end broadcast. So it took me a little while to figure out and a call to Pedro Maciel to figure out how to get back on here. So thank you so much for listening to me today. And does anybody have any questions before I let you go? This was just a quick one, 22 minutes, but it will live on the internet. It will live on LinkedIn. And if you guys are interested, I will post that Word document with the websites that I mentioned. All righty then. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on a Sunday. I love you all. Go to the Safety Struggle if you really like listening to my voice and some of my shenanigans. I do live streams and I do the Safety Struggle podcast. Love to see you all join me there. And I'm actually going to let you see me there up close again. You can join me at any of those locations. Love to have you listen to the podcast. Have some great guests coming up this week. And Sharif, you said, what about PubMed? A lot of the information on PubMed, you won't get the full paper. If you do get the full paper, that's great. But you can also search for those papers on the internet. And again, maybe I'll do a research live stream and we can talk about how to research for your graduate studies. So, hey, Cheryl, listen, I'm here for anybody who wants help in their research. And so, if you're going for your PhD, here I am. So thank you so much. Oh, wait a second. Donald said, great show coming up this week. I do want you guys to know that on Tuesday night, I am going to have Nathan Brayman, aka hashtag Redbeard, and I'm going to have Michael Bowman. And if you know either of these two gentlemen, they are amazing, amazing resources and amazing humans. And the three of us are just going to get on and chat about nostalgia and how it works in our lives. And there may be a little bit about a safety in there. I'm not going to lie. It's probably going to be more just feel good stuff. and Doc Martin chatting with two of her new brothers. So please join us for that, because I think, as Don said, it's not to be missed, not because of me, but because of these wonderful gentlemen that'll be joining me. So have a great rest of the Sunday anywhere in the world. I hope you're working safe and you have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining me. Catch you later.